We have an update. We go to Germany.
Why?
Man who drove his car through a Christmas market.
What?
Causing multiple injuries and multiple deaths.
What the fuck?
Turns out he was anti-Islamic.
What?
And wasn't Allah Akbar. What? I'm Jazz Borganzo on this. There's a lot more to this story than just terrorism.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And it's what's next. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Jazz Borganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Monday. Of course, we had the pre-Christmas Eve until the big day. Hope you guys are done your Christmas shopping. I know me, I'm pretty much done, except I still have to tie a few things. But anyway, I wish I had more happier news, but sadly, that's not the case, because just because it's Christmas time doesn't mean that nonsense, garbage, and just plain evil doesn't exist or doesn't take a holiday. This is an update story. We go to Germany. The driver who plowed through a Christmas market, causing multiple injuries and multiple deaths, turns out that he was not of the Allah Akbar. No, he turned out that he's anti-Islamic, a doctor, and was against Germany Islamophobiaing, or should I say Islamoing, that's a word, it is now, the country. Yeah, there's a lot more to this than just terrorism. This, coming from Breitbart. Death toll in attack on Christmas market in Germany rises to 5 and more than 200 injured. I've heard of as high as 11 deaths that happened that day. The death toll in attack on a busy Christmas market in German city of Magdeburg has risen to 5, according to the state governor on Saturday. Magdeburg, Germany. Germans on Saturday mourned both the victims and their shaken sense of security as a Saudi doctor, yes, he was a doctor, intentionally drove into a Christmas market teeming with holiday shoppers, killing at least 5, including a small child, and wounding at least 200. Authorities arrested the 50-year-old man at the site of the attack on Magdeburg on Friday evening and took him into custody for questioning. He has lived in Germany since 2006, practicing medicine in Bernburg, about 40 kilometers south of Magdeburg, officials said. State Governor Rainer Hasselhoff told reporters that the death toll rose to 5 from a previous figure of 2, and more than 200 people were total injury. Chancellor Olaf Scholz said nearly 40 of them are so seriously injured that we must be very worried about them. Critical injured. Several German media outlets identified the suspect as Talib A, withholding his last name in line with privacy laws, and reported that he was a specialist in psychiatry and psychotherapy. Interesting. Mourners lit candles and placed flowers outside the church and near the market on a cold, gloomy day. Several people stopped and cried. A Berlin church choir whose members witnessed a previous Christmas market attack in 2016, and I'll get to that in a little bit, sang Amazing Grace, a hymn about God's mercy, offering their prayers in solidarity with the victims, the man behind the attack. There were still no answers of Saturday as to what motivated the man to drive his black BMW into a crowd in the eastern German city. Describing himself as a former Muslim, and the suspect shared dozens of tweets and retweets daily focusing on anti-Islamic themes, criticizing the religion, congratulating Muslims who left the faith. So he's the total opposite of what you would think. He also accused German authorities in failing to do so enough to combat what he said was Islamism of Europe. Some described him as activists who helped Saudi women flee their homeland. He also voiced support for far-right and anti-immigrant alternative for Germany, the AfD party. Of course, yes, he was a right-wing loon. That's what the media will tell you. Hasselhoff said on Friday that the authorities believe that the man acted alone. Magdeburg is still shaken. The violence shocked the German city, bringing the mayor in a verge of tears, marring a festive event that's part of the centuries-old German tradition. It prompted several other German towns to cancel their weekend German Christmas markets as a precaution and out of solidarity with Magdeburg's loss. Berlin kept its markets open, but has increased its police presence at them. Germany has suffered a string of extremist attacks in recent years, including a knife attack that killed 3 people, wounded 8 at a festival in the western city of Solingen in August. Magdeburg is a city about 240,000 people. West of Berlin, it serves as a Sachsen-Anhalt capital. Friday's attack came 8 years after Islamic extremists drove his truck into a crowded Christmas market in Berlin, killing 13, injuring many others. The attacker was killed days later in a shootout in Italy. Chancellor Scholz and Interior Minister Nancy Faeser traveled to Magdeburg on Saturday, and the memorial service take place at the city cathedral that evening. Faster offered flags lowered to half-staff at federal buildings across the country, a recount of the horrific attack. Verified bystander footage distributed the German news agency DPA showed the suspect's arrest at a tram stop at the middle of the road. A nearby police officer pointing a handgun at the man shouted as he lay prone, his head arched up slightly. Other officers swarmed around the suspect and took him into custody. My thoughts. The story went a little bit further, but you pretty much guys got the gist of it. It's not your typical, screaming around, yeah, Ali Akbar, and then, setting himself on fire, blowing people up, taking their cars and running through them. But this goes against everything. He is a former Islam himself, the guy. He was anti-Islamic. He helped people get away from that way of life. And yet, something broke in him to the point where he had to take his car, and the guy was an established doctor, took his car, went to the Christmas market, plowed through them, and of course, killed several and multiple and injuries multiplying the hundreds. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing is that he was against the country of Germany becoming more Islam instead of sticking true to Germans. Wow. But prayers to the families and all those involved. But this is what you don't expect. This is the antithesis of what you expect of those who have a hate for Western culture and want to see it die. But wow. Just wow. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys know it's a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.